I don't know what's worse, seltzers or politics.
Oh, you done it now.
Liquor Legend here. Happy Wednesday morning to everyone out there. Hopefully everybody's being safe, social distancing, yada, yada, yada. It's ongoing, but it's part of life as we know it right now, so we got to make the best of it. Now, today's topic is back on the seltzers. Oh yes, we can't get away from them. And as overcrowded as the market is, there is more and more trying to get in. And the one problem of all stores is space. You only have so much space to carry this stuff. And if you don't have, you can carry everything on the door. If you got shelves, you can carry more, but no one wants to drink warm anything, okay? It amazes me, the stores that have a decent amount of product, but then have these huge shelves full of warm craft beer. Who the hell's drinking warm beer? I want cold beer when I go to the store. I don't want to wait. But, so the big ones out there are having trouble from time to time. White Claw, you might put in an order. Obviously there's an aluminum can shortage. So the companies are trying to decide how they can keep maintaining their numbers, how they can keep up supplies. And, some of them have picked spending most of the time making their most profitable products. So Truly is kind of cutting back on 6-packs and is really going to focus more on the 12-pack variety. And I get it. It's their most popular package. If you have like 10 or 11 items and there's a shortage somehow, you do have to focus it on the top half of your products. So I get it. White Claw, I haven't really talked to a rep, but I think the same thing is applying. They're really trying to keep focused on 12-packs and maybe some core 6-packs, but other things you're not going to be able to get. I've been trying to order 70-calorie Clementine White Claws. Can't get them. And that's, due to the shortage. But with all the big names, and like I said, you have Truly, you have White Claw, you have Corona Seltzers, which I don't seem to have a problem getting, although there is shortages. I make sure I buy at certain times to make sure I have them. And then there's some smaller, less-known companies. Now, I kind of have a decent mix. I've got the big boys, and I have some of the smaller companies like Legit that actually had some interesting flavors. I brought them in. I used to have Crooked Maker, but again, it's all about space. Now I'm lucky I have a 1,000-square-foot cooler, but a lot of people just want to go to the doors. They want to grab the stuff. They want to go. So I get that. So I could carry much more, but people are on the go these days. So I don't want to invest in putting a lot of lesser known brands in a cooler, in a shelf in the cooler, because it will fall a little. Now, of course, I get special requests, and again, as long as I can get them, I don't have room on the shelf, I'll put them on the shelf in the cooler, because I actually have shelves in the cooler. There's not a lot of stores that have what I have. A lot of them are front loaders. I got 1,000-square-foot space, which, ironically, somebody tried to tell me once, well, no, there's another store in town which more square footage. If they're all front-loaded coolers, it doesn't count, okay? Sure, it's cooler space, but an actual cooler, I don't think anybody else in town has the size cooler I have. And my cooler's always clean, mind you. So there's a new seltzer that just came out, and this is actually the purpose of the video. How far are you willing to go if you have to fight the big dogs? What price point, what advertisement, what gimmick do you need to conquer the mountain? And this particular product is doing something I've never, ever seen done in the industry. And it's going to cost them money. The question will be, will it turn into gold for them? Will spending money now mean increased sales in a very, very full market of seltzers? Now, the name of the seltzer brand is called Basic. They have a core variety 12-pack. They have lemon. I can't remember the flavors. One of them is Pamplemousse, which is like the bougie way. It's a bougie way of saying grapefruit. Well, it's French. Okay. Are they getting the freaking grapefruits, the Pamplemousses from France? Or are they using grapefruit and they're calling it Pamplemousse? The answer is they're using regular grapefruit and they're calling it Pamplemousse because LaCroix has a seltzer, a regular seltzer, non-alcoholic, and one of their top ones is the Pamplemousse one. Bougie. Could have just stuck with grapefruit, but hey, listen, it's all about trying to get more people to buy your product. So the interesting thing about this company and the thing that sets them off, number one, it is the Four Loko company, which is doing this. Okay, Four Loko is the one behind Basic Seltzer. Now, when you hear that, you think, oh, it must be crazy. No, it's not crazy alcohol. 4.5%, very low calories, almost no carbs. I haven't tried it. Like I said, I just got it yesterday. But a promotion is ongoing, which will ensure that people are going to buy the product, whether they want to or not. I will say, because there are people that are set in what they want. They go in a store and they're White Claw fans. They're not apt to try other seltzers. They'll just keep drinking White Claw. But Basic is upsetting the game. I just posted a video, a little advertisement, and in the video it says, "Don't hate the player, hate the game." And then a little later in the video it says, "Well, this player is bringing free seltzer, and the game is not amused." And of course, I have evil eyes on all the different variety 12 packs of seltzers, and the Basic seltzer's got a happy face, and he's laughing maniacally. I thought it was fun. Maybe I'll play it at the end of the video. But yeah, so the way it works is you buy a 12-pack of Basic Seltzers. The most important thing about this deal is you have to have Venmo or PayPal, which is one of the most widely used paying services for young people today. Older people don't really have Venmo. Venmo, being where the store is near the college, constantly kids are like, oh, can you Venmo me your half of the bill, your half of the supplies. And PayPal, most people have PayPal if they're buying things online and things like that. So you have to have those two things. That's the important thing. So what happens is you buy the 12-pack, you need a receipt. That's also the most important thing, number two, because Basic is going to want proof that you bought it. So I had one guy, I was going to get the receipt, he was rushing out, he'd come back a minute later, he's like, oh, I need the receipt. Yeah, you need the receipt. So PayPal, Venmo, and a receipt. So you buy this product and you text this to a number. And again, I don't have that number in front of me right now. I'm on the road driving to work. But you text and it will give you a list of instructions. The company, Basic Seltzers, will reimburse you the full price of that 12-pack on your first purchase. And that's up to $17.99. Okay, that's about as high as they'll pay. And obviously, if a store is charging more than $17.99, then they're being ridiculous. Okay, but some of the Cape Cod liquor stores, which charge ridiculous prices, $25.99 for a 30-pack. That's just dumb. $27.99, whatever it is. Stupid. They are apt to charging more because it's tourist crowd. They're gonna make more money. And as a side note, none of these Cape Cod stores better ever hope that me and the owner ever put a store up near the Cape area. Because if we did, there'd be a lot of unhappy people. So once you purchase the 12-pack and you text them, they give you a list of instructions and they refund you back they refund you the price that you paid for the 12-pack. Now that's on the first 12-pack. On the second 12-pack, they reimburse you $10. Okay? So it's almost like a case will cost you less than a case is going to cost you less than $10. That's pretty good. The average 12-pack price on a seltzer is $16.99, $17.99. That's the average price. Now, after you've done your $10 refund on the second 12-pack, any other 12-pack you buy after this will be $5 refunds. And I guess it's in perpetuity. And when I first heard about it, I thought, wow, that's a bold move. That's crazy. But again, the seltzer game is a hot item. It's exploded. Everybody's trying to vie for a piece. And with the shortages, there are some companies that aren't keeping up with the demand. And I get it. From what I understand, talking to the rep for Basic, they will not have a problem keeping up with demand. So their probably main focus is this stuff, Now I don't know if they're doing it in the same facility that Four Loko does it, and a lot of times some of these companies they call it ghost brewing, which means they don't have a facility of their own, but they get contracted to run it out of a different somebody else's company. I think it was either Keystone. Yeah, Keystone ran into this problem not that long ago because I think they're ghost brewing through Coors Miller, and Coors Miller was kind of getting ready to shut that deal down. Keystone was going to be in trouble. I think it was Keystone. But I digress. So it's a very interesting move that Basic's going to do, and personally, Basic's going to lose a lot of money. They're not reimbursing the cost of what it costs to make them, because they'll make it, they sell it to the distributor, and of course they're making a profit. Now they're selling shipments, so if they're making $2 or $3, they're selling 5,000 cases. It's a pretty healthy profit. But no, they're selling or they're refunding the retail. I mean, this company could lose up of $1 million quickly. Calculated risk, though. Calculated risk. There are companies willing to do what it takes to become number one, and I give it to Basic. Now, again, without having tried the product, and I probably will end up trying the product, because again, I get my first 12-pack for free without having to use my little discount. My working in the industry discount. So I'll end up trying it. I like seltzers. I drink regular seltzers normally. I prefer the taste over water. I will say that my most popular, or the seltzer I really like the most, has been the polar ones, but they fell by the wayside. They weren't out there in the public eye, and they end up dying in my store, and it sucked because I liked them. And I pushed them. Listen, I push products, and especially if they're really good products. The Basic seltzers I'm going to push because people are going to save money. Now again, I think initially you will have people buying a case. So if I get 20 people in my store and they all end up buying a case because of the price, that's half of the inventory that I just got in. And it's not going to be hard to convince that of people. So Basic is definitely taking an intriguing step in this seltzer war. And it will be interesting to see how they maintain it, and how long Basic will continue bleeding money just to get a piece of the perennial pie. But that remains to be seen. Like I said, I'm going to push the product. I'm going to get through the first 40 cases and try to get another drop because, you know, school's going to be starting up. The BSU students are coming back in, you know, some kind of capacity. It's not the full capacity. So depending on how many students, all of them will at least have a 12-pack. Except the sippy cuppers. Sippy cuppers, well, sippy cuppers, you can't really, I don't know if you're really able to do this deal because you gotta be 21 to drink. And they might, I don't know. I don't know how Venmo works, but I don't know if your age is linked to it, but I'd be interested to find out. Now we have to take a side note here. And I hate talking about politics, but I need to bring up this one point because it is important. Now, the country is very political right now. It is extremely political. And there's a lot going on that I think is being well overdone. For years, forever, I always thought you should stand up for what you believe. Okay? And having a political belief is important because you want to be able to have a choice on how your country operates. And of course, we all can't be winners. The person that we pick for a particular office, and when they don't win, you know, that's how it works. When it comes to the highest office, okay, and I've come across this a couple times. If you support one candidate or the other, it should not matter to the consumers. But because of who I support, I've had a couple people really say to me, I will never shop in your store. Let me tell you something. If that's how you operate, if that's what you think is important, then you are the very effing reason why the divide in this country is as bad as it is. Okay? It's a bunch of shit. Aggravates the hell out of me. It doesn't matter what. Now, don't get me wrong. You're supporting the Ku Klux Klan. I can understand you losing customers. But if you support one person over the other, say for president, it should not have people thinking, oh, I cannot shop with that person. It's a lot of shit. And I've gotten very angry at some people because that's their stance. I'm going to tell everybody not to shop there. That's babyish. You're being a little freaking child throwing a tantrum. Now the election's coming, no matter whether people want it or not. And there's going to be a result. And half of the people are not going to be happy with the results. And I can tell you who I think is going to win, but it doesn't matter who I think is going to win. What's important is this. Having a political belief should not make you ostracized. How many people get attacked for walking down the street with a red hat because somebody else doesn't agree with it? They talk about cancel culture. That's part of it too. Not following the status quo. Everybody has an have their own individual belief. And everybody should be able to respect everybody else's individual belief. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, but it gets way too political. Way too political. The baker, the guy who had a bakery who refused to make a cake because the couple was gay. I didn't agree with that. But in his mind, it was his religion that told him he couldn't do that. That's where it's a touchy subject. But if you're going to disown, if you're going to actively say, nope, that person is a scumbag, then you are causing the very dissension that this country is seeing. You're allowed to believe what you want. You're allowed to have beliefs. That's the purpose of this freaking country. Freedom. Freedom to choose who you want to run for office. Now, it's not everybody that does that, but it's the few. And they might seem like great people, but they just couldn't get over themselves and decided, no, you're not worth anything because you don't follow what I follow. I call it sheeples. Both sides do it. The right calls the left sheep. The left calls the right sheep. You're allowed to have your own political belief. And again, I kept saying, I never wanted to do this on this channel. But I've run into some people that have to force me to rethink that. Doesn't matter what I believe. Every single customer in my store is treated exactly the same. I don't care what you are or what you believe. You're a customer. You're important to me. But I hate to say it, if you feel so strongly that because of my political beliefs, you won't have nothing to do with my store, now, that's kind of ignorant. We're all human. We're all allowed to believe certain things. You take that away, then you have one person calling the shots and everybody else having no choice but to follow. And that's wrong. And again, this election's coming. And whether you agree with the results or not, there are going to be unhappy people in this country. But you don't always get your way. Not everything is the way you want it. We are supposed to be disappointed from time to time in our life because it shows that we're human. So political discord goes on. People lose their fucking minds. But allow people to have a difference of opinions and treat them like you would like to be treated. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's just part. It's a part of a larger problem. But it doesn't have to be. So that's it. I don't want to be doing politics on this damn channel, but it had to be said because I'm sick and tired of the bull. I run a business. I treat everyone with the utmost respect, and I do my job better than most. It doesn't matter about my beliefs. It matters about making you feel at home, making you feel comfortable, giving you a great selection, great prices, great service. I don't care what you believe. I care about you.